Definitely the racism was very evident in that area, because in that area there was
In
a
that
big
district, Seymour.
yeah, in the
Seymour,
district,
Texas.
there was a high number of I was a black community and a white community, but the division between the two was unreal. That is where I experienced the most racism that I had all my life, because in that town, blacks were not were the worser in the ladder of status, and then we were a little Hispanic people, Chicanos were a step before them, and then of course everything was made out for the white population, the Anglo.
Well, she would get on the school
And
bus,
so
and the school
there was
bus,
rules.
there was the back part of the bus was marked, and minority kids, African Americans and Chicanos had to sit in the back part of the bus. White students would sit in the front.
Yeah,
Wow.
not only in the school bus, it was all over the school or any town, any
What kind of
restaurant.
what kind of
What
stuff
would
did they have at
happen
school?
would the same thing.
Could you use the same bathrooms?
In the classroom, the last row, the last seats were for the blacks. Then right before them were for the Chicanos like us, and then all the rest of the front seats were for the white kids. The same thing in the school bus. The last two were for blacks. No matter how many black kids were in there, they had to crowd in those two.
Wow.
Then there was 4 allowed it for Chicanos, and of course we had a lot of people in my family, so we filled them out. But all the rest of the seats were for the white kids, and you couldn't even touch the seats because you would put germs in them. Then you were not. You were allowed. You had to walk without touching anybody or touching any property around you. Same thing in the classroom. Same thing in the line. When we would get in line, the bell would ring. The bell. We would get in line. The blacks had to be in the very back. The whites had the Chicanos right in front of
So
them.
some of like you were trained.
We were trained.
Okay.
It was like that all over Seymour. And so drinking water, in a water fountain, you were not allowed to if other white kids had to, because you would put germs in there.
I think.
It was just blatant racism.
Yeah, and I never experienced
It was terrible.
that type of racism because
And then you would get hit
I was
if
here
they
in the
heard
state of
you.
Washington.
If somebody complained that you were speaking Spanish, whether you did or not, you would get punished for it. And so we got punished
I think
a lot.
the main reason those rules were enforced was because, for the story she's told me, is that the white students would make sure to let a bus driver know or let a teacher know, he touched my seat, and then it was enough for them to be reminded, for Chicano students to be
Or
reminded.
to be dropped off, like right in the middle of one time going to school, the bus stopped and some of the black kids had to get off. So
Wow.
in the middle of nowhere, because there was a big complaint from a white kid, and so they were left out. I just saw them being left out. No phone. There was no cell phones to contact parents. They were just left out to fend for themselves.